What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm here today to kind of start a new series a little bit. It's not going to be all, like, the videos aren't going to be back to back. It's not going to be this video this week and then video about the gun next week kind of thing. Probably be a couple weeks or a week in between, but I got my PSA Dagger here, and we're going to just kind of do budget upgrades on it. Just stuff that I feel like needs to be done and stuff that I would like to try out on handguns. So with that, we're going to get into our 4 rules of gun safety and talk about what we're going to start with. I just want to go ahead and say that this firearm is not loaded. There is nothing in the chamber and there's nothing in the mag well. But let's get into our gun safety rules. Rule number 1, always keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to fire. Rule number 2, always treat every firearm like it is loaded. Rule number 3, never point the firearm at anything you aren't willing to destroy. And rule number 4, always know what is beyond your target. Now, let's talk about some upgrades. Before we get into changing stuff out though, we're just going to talk about what we have here and go shoot it a little bit. This here is the Palmetto State Armory Dagger. This is the full-size version. My dad has one, but his is like the regular size. His is more like the Glock 19. This one's more like the Glock 45. It's got a Hooper Gunworks slide on here with, I don't even remember what brand it is, but a stainless steel barrel. The Hooper Gunworks slide has RMR cut sights on it. And then I just have some cheap Amazon Glock sights. You can see them. There you go. And then the inside parts, it's a Browning slide kit. I think it's a Glock Gen 3 and 4. It's just their standard one. I got it for, I think, like 40, 50 bucks. Wasn't too expensive. But everything else on this is just stock from PSA. The trigger is stock. The grip is stock. Everything else is just stock. But now let's go and take it to the range and see what we can do with this stock trigger. Alrighty, I'm not actually going to show any of the disassembly here just because I don't want YouTube to get weird about it. But I will kind of walk you through how to do it. You just got to take out this back pin here. And that releases the trigger mechanism. And then you have to take out this front pin here. And then that releases those. But then you also have to release this back one too, because that's also part of these rails. And it's stopping the trigger from coming out, so you just have to pop all these out. I've heard that these two are fairly difficult, but this one is pretty easy. And it seems like this one you can take out fairly easily. I heard that the easy way to take this one out is to actually wiggle this around while you're pushing this out. So yeah, this pin here, you want to wiggle this while you push that pin out. But I'm going to go ahead and get it broke down and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alrighty, we got it all taken apart now. So we're just going to take a look at what all we have. Got our rails, we got our slide release here. We got our old trigger and then our new trigger. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and you got to get it out of here. And the big thing to remember is just how the spring is on there. So if the cross is up like this, then you want to make sure that you look at how it's looped on there. Try to get it to focus. It's whatever. But I can see how it is, so I know how to put it onto another one. So I take it. Oh, if I can get my spring back. The cross up, so then you put this through that loop, and boom. Now you take it, pull it out, and then just slide it back into place. now you are all set, ready to put it back in. So we're going to get it back in, make sure everything works well, and then we'll get back to you. Alrighty, we made it out here to the range. I ended up getting it put together. It was a little challenging, and I didn't end up using the trigger bar that came with this trigger. I ended up just using the stock one in there. One thing you want to remember if you're putting in a aftermarket trigger is you got to pull these down a little bit when you're installing this pin, or else the slide release or slide lock is not going to sit right. It's just for some reason how it is. But I'm gonna put about 5 shots through it, make sure everything works right, and see how I like it. Alrighty, we got our 5 rounds here. See what we got. Alrighty, I'm not sure if you could tell there, but we were having some issues with the trigger. It seemed to not push forward enough to get past the trigger safety, so it wouldn't even let me pull in the trigger safety. Gonna try to put some more rounds through it. Hopefully it kind of wears in a little bit. So I got 10 rounds in this clip, or in this mag. We're gonna see what we can do. Alrighty, as you could see, it wasn't too bad shooting there. Had a couple of them way off to the right here, had a couple little up high, but other than that, they were fairly good. I had a nice little group right here, and I had one even right in the middle. I'll take it. I didn't have any issues on that second time, so we're gonna load it up some more and give her a few more shots, and then we'll move on. Alright, I got 10 more rounds in here. I'm going to test it out, and then I got 10 more rounds in another mag, and then we'll see if my dad wants to test it out, give his opinion on it. He has just a regular size Dagger, so he kind of knows how bad the regular Dagger trigger is, so he could give a good opinion on it. But let's shoot it. Again there, I had the same problem where it wanted to lock up. I'm not sure if I need to not let it come all the way out when I shoot it, but we're just going to keep putting rounds through it. Hopefully it wears in. I do like how it feels. I do think that it was worth the money to upgrade it. It's a lot crisper, and it's not as wonky as the Dagger trigger is. My regular Dagger trigger almost felt like it was two-staged. This one is a lot smoother, and I would recommend it. It's the Tyrant trigger. You can find it on Optics Planet, but now we're gonna have my dad shoot it and give his opinion.
Okay, we gave her a go with 10 rounds. Definitely better than the original Dagger trigger. My Dagger trigger is a little better than what his was, and this is even better than that. I think it runs pretty well. It's pretty smooth. I did not let it come all the way out, so maybe that is a thing that he'll have to get used to shooting it that way. All in all, I think it was a good upgrade.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Had a fun time out here at the range, trying out that new trigger. If you did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you're interested, you can go to our website and check out our merch. I think the first one that I had on was our HGS tee, but this one is our I'll Keep My 2 AK Rights tee. So you can go on there and check that out. We also have a 2A R Rights tee that you can check out as well. It's www.hgso.store. Again, like and subscribe. And join us for the next video. Thank you.